Hello, I'm Pong, and this is General Reflection entry number two. So this is covering weeks 6 and 7, and jumping right into it. So, question number one: what were the most useful or interesting things you gained from the readings? Class discussions. So, first off, last week we were introduced to the model of multiple dimensions of identity, and there it talks about the contextual influences and filters and the core values. So I broke down everything, and I think the most important things about that was that I was able to reflect on where I start off as being an Hmong American, going back to like stereotypes of what I wanted, what I was supposed to do, and then actually overcoming that and getting through the filter of having my parents push that dream onto me, their dream onto me. So that, and then going to the core values. That's where I really resonated to what I wanted to be, where I am today. Um, Breaking barriers as a Hmong male, and being a role model, and making a difference with the profession that I am pursuing. So that was a really good eye opener and just a good reflection on where I am right now as a person. And then this week, I think the gender identity, that part really brought out like a lot of good information, things that I didn't really think about, but it's good to know about it, right? So I wrote that gender identity conforms from interactions through gender related roles. From that, there was a quote in chapter 8 of college student development theory that says females have higher self efficacy, which is the belief that they will be successful. Um, I totally respect that, and I was just questioning myself, like to questioning the text. How long does this claim go back, right? And then I started thinking about um, why just females? Why did they just say that specifically for female? Why not for males also? Because I think that we're all trying to be successful, and we're all built to move towards a direction. So, after, just taking everything that we've been learning about so far in like history about higher education, I started to think like, is this because of what women went through over the years, right? Being trying to break that barrier of just being that stay-at-home mom, or taking care of the house. And I honestly think it is because of that, because they because of that they're able to have that higher self-efficacy. um, but tell me if I'm wrong, if there's anything more to it. But like I said from the start, I respect that, and I see um, why they mentioned that. So the question number two: what concepts, models, or theories are you struggling with, and why? And which ones are less clear to you? So, same thing with gender identity conforms from interactions through gender related roles. Um, I think that's good to understand. It talked about how primary, like the it's through interactions with your self concepts, and with society. So like your peers and your family and everything. and and then when we learned about going beyond binaries, it's like, okay, so it's more than that. It's more than just those self concepts and those interactions with your family or your peers, because when it's beyond binary, um, it's it's so much more. I'm still new to that part, so that's why it's a little hard for me to explain. But I know that just hearing about it, and just with us discussing that in class, there's a lot of complexities, and there are challenges when you're really trying to identify yourself, but there's so many things that people don't know. And I feel like we're in a situation right now where we're actually in pushing for all that, but at the same time, there's people that are um, are not thinking as passive as we are, right? So I think it's new to me because Marquette didn't. We didn't use pronouns or anything like that, and I don't really know why, but why when I got to UWRF, we started doing that right away, starting using pronouns right away. And so when I think back, maybe it's because Marquette is a private institution and they have um, funders or stakeholders that maybe they don't go by that, right? Or maybe they don't, they never really um, live by those standards. So the founders, right? So they probably um, don't want that to happen in the institution. I don't know, but that's something that I'm still learning, and I hopefully I will be able to learn more about that as the course goes on, and um, apply that to my work and my practice in the near future. Right. So, question number three: what new insights have you gained about yourself? Um, and how might these insights shape your development as a practitioner? So, um, so this is something that um, all of this, like, I just want to focus on these pronouns and the beyond binary because I think it's so important because each individual, they're able to be comfortable on campus, right? They're able to be comfortable, and when they're comfortable, they can learn and become who they really want to be, because that's the whole idea, a goal of college, right? To really build yourself, develop yourself, and go for what you want to do in life. So I think the biggest challenge is to, you know, learn all these different aspects and apply them to my practice, but not just my practice at the institution, but the practice inside the Hmong community. That's where I started thinking, like, okay, so this is new to me because it didn't happen. This is not something that goes on in the Hmong community at all. So for me to learn about this and then to bring it back to the Hmong community and try to tell them, I don't even know how that's gonna go, honestly. Um, I'm sure there's other people that are educated and more educated than me, but um, I can see that being a challenge just with my family and the people that I know, that it's they're not they I don't know that. So that's gonna be a challenge for me, and but I'm here for it, and we're learning. So we have to do this because, like I said, that's what development in yourself and the world needs, right? So, question number four: anything else you would like to share about your learning in weeks 6 and 7? So the week's academic this week and last week really showed that well, this week really is showed that higher education is really evolving, right? Um, just like you said, Adele. If you've only seen this since what, the 5 years that you've been with UW La Crosse, and um, that just tells me that this is still new, right? So this is new, and we have to apply this to our students and to our practice. I'm repeating myself, but that's just how it is, right? And that's how important it is. So I see that higher ed is evolving, and it needs to, because that's the only way we're gonna build, and that's the only way we're gonna go beyond obstacles and be the best that we can be. At the same time, I'm evolving too. Not just learning about, let alone learning this. And ever since the program started, I feel like I'm changing in a way. I feel like I've understand of why I'm here, where I'm going, and it's pushing me to keep going, to keep breaking barriers and to keep being that role model. And um, I'm understanding that I need to do this not just for myself but for everybody. I probably said that at the beginning, but it's still true, and I just have a better understanding of why I am here. So meeting new people as I go, like my other cohort members, just hearing their stories and their backgrounds and where they come from. It's just like the books say, like I'm a first gen and they weren't, and they had resources and more resources than I did. I realized that I'm blessed that I participated in the college prep programs that were funded by the government, and um, yeah, like without those, who knows where I would be right now. So that's why it's so important for all those programs, and um, that's why it's important for me to be here to keep pushing for people like me and people that are not aware of everyone's situation. So I'm learning that, and then just realizing that even though that we're all different, we're still here in the same program, and we're still all pushing to better. I'll just say it, to better the world, right? To make sure all students are being heard, and make sure all students are successful, and that's my goal. So that's a recap of the semester so far, and I don't know if there's anything else that I can apply. I'm sure there is, but there's just so much, and I'm going over time, so that's all I got. So thank you.